All right. So for obvious reasons, I'm not going to be able to use the girl's real name in the story. So I'm going to use the greatest name I've found recently at my job, which is Whitney Chan. So we're going to switch out her name, which I'm probably going to end up saying, and that's not good, with Whitney, which I might do the accent on. We'll find out. We'll see where the night takes us. So anyways, his story was back when I was in college. I was like, we were all 21, I think, 22, probably 20, because I don't think we went out. But we took a few, like 5 of my close friends, took like 5, 6 chicks up to Big Bear during the summer, which Big Bear's a ski town in California, so there's not a lot to do in the summer, especially if you can't go to bars. So we basically did everything we would have done at our house. It's just no one could leave. So it was kind of like Dennis in the boat in Always Sunny. Yeah. And I'm starting to realize, like, oh, this is a bad idea what we did. This could come back to haunt us. Anyways, to get an idea of, like, the kind of guy I was back then, we played Poop Dollar, which if you don't know what that is you smear poop on a dollar and then leave it in the street. And then you sit down and drink and wait for someone to walk by and pick it up. And then you scream, "Poop dollar!" at them. And that's the whole game. That's all the fun. And these girls saw that and were like, we're going to stay here 2 more days with these guys. They're a rad time. So, also, like, nowadays with inflation, it's probably like poop $5. Which then again makes me feel like a Thai guy being like, $1, no, $5, cash, poop. There's going to be a lot of racist Asian accents, which is a good thing because they're all going extinct, if you guys didn't know. Japan has a horrible birth rate. So does Korea. So does Thailand. So racist white guys are the only ones keeping their cultures alive in 100 years. In 100 years, you're going to be like, I am a samurai. And people are going to be like, oh, very good. Saving Japan culture. Very good man. And I'm like, thank you. You're welcome. You guys all died because you were too busy at sex hotels and playing fucking Sonic the Hedgehog. So, besides the fact that I'm saving Japan, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on this. That's fine. They can bleep it out. So one night we got all drunk and we're all super hungover the next day. And I think we just watched Top Gun like 5 times. Like, this sequel wasn't a thing yet. So we just replayed the first. The house we rented, like, still had a VHS and VCR. And that was, like, the only movie we were like, it'll be fun to drink and watch this. So we spent the whole day watching Top Gun and, like, making hot dogs. And, like, all of us and all the chicks were hammered. And it's nighttime now. And they have a hot tub that's, like, on the porch, but it's sunk in. So, like, multiple times someone fell into the hot tub just walking around drunk. So we decided to all get in the hot tub, keep drinking, and then eventually we're all like, let's all get naked. That's a good idea. And I was like, yeah! So we're all naked. And then my buddy's like, I have to take a piss. There's 12 of us in this 5-man hot tub. I'm not going to pee on all of you. So he got up and, like, stood next to the hot tub and pissed off the balcony. And at some point, someone was like, David! And he turned and just started peeing on my face. And I was so drunk that I was like, this is really refreshing. This is nice. And meantime, Whitney Chan was on my lap. I've got like half a chub as my buddy's peeing on my face, and she's watching it. She's watching me get peed on. So I was like, whatever. So then slowly, like, throughout the night, people go up to the bedroom and they're fucking, and, like, me and this chick are making out, which I have pee on my face. I didn't wash it off. Like, even if I went in the hot tub, that water's 90% pee. So, whatever. So I was like, hey, everyone's asleep. We're both naked. Blow me? Also, one of the guys there also has fucked a Whitney Chan. And he's married now, so that's another good reason I shouldn't say her name. He's very disappointed we're Eskimo bros. So, anyways, she's like, yeah, why don't you get on the side of the hot tub and I'll blow you? I was like, perfect. This is great. Fucking, it's like one of my childhood dreams. I'm sitting on a hot tub in the mountains, looking at the stars, getting head. And then all of a sudden she's like, oh, my back. And I was like, what? And she like got up and like sat on the side of the hot tub, was grabbing her back, like screaming in pain. And she's like, don't worry. I'll finish blowing you. And I was like, I don't know what's happening. You're freaking me out. And she's like, oh, I have a slip disc in my back. And I'm not a doctor. It's shocking that the guy in the Chicago shirt that's also a Hawaiian shirt isn't a doctor wearing fucking gym shorts for filming like a idiot. Almost said the R word. Saved it. Only getting canceled for like 6 things. So she's freaking out, screaming, I'll blow you, don't worry. Which now I'm sitting there like, someone's in the room hearing, I'll blow you, don't worry, in a pained voice, being like, what's going on out there? That doesn't sound safe. So anyways, I calm her down. Her back's better. I don't know. We go upstairs and try to fuck, but I'm so like emotionally distraught over what I just saw and hammered. I was just like, I'm just gonna go sleep. And also my friend, who I call Slut Tits, because she has great tits. She now has a kid. That lucky bastard. Getting a suck on those. But she was just like staring at me the whole time I was trying to hump this girl. And that was uncomfortable. So we ain't fuck. So now we're going to fast forward like maybe a month later. And I'm having a party at my house because my buddy got a DUI. And I was his witness at the court case. And we got him out of the DUI. But the judge also called us bastards, which didn't seem professional. He's like, you dumb bastard kids. Don't take this shit seriously. I was like, all right. Also, like, if you ever go to court, it's funny but sad. But, like, in between the stairs, there's, like, small stairs because children sometimes have to be witnesses. And so I tripped on that because I'm size 13 feet. And the judge didn't like that I laughed after falling on the stairs. But anyways, we had a big party. The lawyer specifically was like, do not have a party tonight. I know you guys want to have a fucking party. Your boy got off. He got very lucky. Don't have a party. I was like, I'm throwing the biggest fucking party. So we're having this party and fucking, Whitney Chan. Don't cough during my fucking racism, you dick. So Whitney Chan came to the party and she was like, still like wet from, she was like, we never actually fucked. I want to fuck. And I was like, the cool thing about me is I also always want to fuck. So let's go up to my room, which was up a spiral staircase. Not important in the story, but I just think it's cool that I was once a spiral staircase guy. So we're in my room on my bed, which was on the floor. Classy. And like, we're like making out. And then I go to finger her and she's just like fucking dry. And I was like, what's going on? And she's like, do you have lube? And I was like, Whitney, you're 21 years old. You should be good to go. What lube? I've never even thought of lube in my life. And she's like, oh, no, it's really nice. You'll like it. I was like, well, I'm not going to CVS right now. So figure something else out. And she was like, why don't we go in the shower? And I was like, I don't think that works, but I'll give it a shot. I'm hard. So we go in the shower, and, you know, I was like, you want me to, like, pick you up against the wall or something? And, like, she just goes like this. And now most girls would do, like, the hands on the wall or maybe one of, like, the protective of the head things. She just hands on knees, head right into the fucking wall as I'm plowing her. Now, remember, this poor girl has a slip disc that interrupted a maybe level 6 blowjob. So I'm behind her just like, oh, this isn't good. I don't like this. She's going to be in a wheelchair tomorrow. Everyone's going to be very upset with me. So I'm slamming her, and I start feeling so bad that I'm like, hey, like, is your back doing okay? Is your head doing okay? She was like one of those dinosaurs that had the hard head with like the spikes all around. I was like, Jesus Christ, you're like a ram that can run into boulders. So I was like, do you want to like stop or just like switch positions? And she looks back to me, and also she has like kind of a smokier voice. Like she sounds like she's like a pack-a-day smoker. She's like, turns back and she's like, just finish already. And I was like, Jesus Christ. So like, you know, when you're trying to end the night, you go from like hitting it like to fucking slamming it where you're like, ah, 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 ah. So now I'm doing that. Her fucking head is just bam, bam, bam. And I'm back there, and then I'm like, I felt something. Like, that was the closest I came to like a woman's orgasm. Like I felt something, but I just didn't know. So like I was like, oh, I'm done. Like the shower was also a tub, so I sat down on the end of the tub, just like completely defeated, being like, the fuck did I just do? Like what the hell? And she's like, did you finish? And I was like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know. And she just goes, let's find out. And she sits on the toilet and shoots my, I'm guessing the doctor term will go on YouTube, semen out of her into the toilet. And she was just like, good. And I was like, oh my God, I never want to see you again. That being said, I did slam her like 9 more times. It wasn't bad. But, so now we're going to fast forward like 5 years. And she's living, Whitney Chan moved to Chicago. Very good noodle. And she moved to Chicago. That got way more racist than just the voice. Oh, no. That's going to be a problem one day. So she's in Chicago, and I'm back in Chicago. I grew up in Chicago. I'm back, as you can tell by the gym shorts. That's how you tell where people are from. So we're in Chicago, and Lagunitas Brewing actually started in Chicago. I know everyone thinks it started in the Bay Area. They started in Chicago. There's a brewery in Chicago. They just have a much bigger one in San Francisco. So they claim they're from there, and their whole thing is like, we smoke weed. So we're going on the tour of Lagunitas. We're all getting hammered, and the tour literally is like, this is our Santa's like big dick beer. It's our Christmas beer. The owners thought of the name when they were high. And then they're like, this is Chihuahua's beer. The owners thought of the name when they were high. And I was like, this isn't like a tour. You're not teaching me anything. You're just saying everyone here smokes weed. So then I go, and their tour was at the top of every hour. And all they would do is be like, tour, tour, tour. And then I was like, I can do this. I got drunk enough. I got a little moxie in me. I was like, I got this. So at like 2:30 in the afternoon, I just go, tour, tour, tour. And they're like, and I was like, I got it. And so I just took a bunch of people on a tour. And I didn't have a microphone. The guy had like a microphone plugged in. And every time I was like, oh yeah, you know, they're all stoners. We love the beer. Hey, all right, let's go to the next one. And so like some guy came up to me and was like, hey, what are you doing? I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, Mike, I just talked to my manager, Mike, and he's like, I don't know that guy. Who's giving the tour? And I was like, oh, Mike knows me. Mike knows. I was like, go talk to, I'm from California. And he's like, oh, okay. I was like, yeah, I heard you had a busy weekend, so they asked me if I could help. And I was in town, so I said, yeah. And they're like, oh, all right, I'll go talk to Mike. And then he came back, and he was like, Mike doesn't know you. I was like, oh, how high is Mike? And he's like, Mike's pretty high. I was like, oh, Mike's fucking with you. You know, I knew Mike from back in the day. He's a jokester. And so he's like, oh, okay. Well, do you want a microphone? We do a microphone. I was like, get that pussy shit out of here. In California, we don't use microphones because for some reason I was like, everyone in California is tough compared to Chicago, which they're not. So I got to the second to last beer before the manager came out and was like, hey guys, this is just a drunk piece of shit. The real tour is starting in like 2 minutes if you guys want to take the tour. And all the people were like, we kind of liked him. He was pretty. I got like $100 in tips from the people and like tons of free beer just thinking it's funny. Anyways, I bring that up to tell you this. So we're in Chicago and I was like, maybe I could fuck this chick one more time. So I hit her up and I was like, hey, I'm in town. And she was like, oh, really? I was like, hey, it's a bachelor party. Can I see your tits? I want to show it to my boys. He's getting married. She was like, sure. And then she sent me a picture of her tits with like clamps on and ropes around her. And I was like, that's not good for your back. And then I never saw her again. All right, I've been Zach Leboza. Follow me on Latinx Leboza on Instagram. There will be more Japanese racism. Whitney Chan!